Steve Rhodes. Good morning, all you wonderful money masters out there. Good Monday to you. Happy Halloween to everyone out there that's celebrating Halloween. I know that I am wearing my Halloween outfit, if you will. I got my samurai sword on. I've got my samurai outfit on because it is, we're going to talk about the yen today. We're going to go take a look at the currencies because if you trade currencies and you were up, I don't know, around 7:30, 8:30 last night, you saw some huge moves going on. And, we'll go ahead and take a look at that. But I absolutely love being here with you, folks. I hope you had a great weekend. I know I did. And, congratulations to the St. Louis Cardinals for winning Game 7. I love sports that go down to, you have a World Series, right? And they played, I don't know how many, 180 games or so. And you get to that stage where you're in the finals. And, for it to go to Game 7, it's really great. And, I was rooting for the Cardinals. My parents, when they were alive, they lived in St. Louis, and absolutely cool town. A little hot in the summertime, and so that was great. And for all of you listeners that are listening to the archive show up in New Hampshire, I am sorry for your pain up there. You folks have gotten hammered with a Halloween snowstorm. You talk about trick or treats. There's no treat in a wet snowstorm that's pulling down trees. And, living in Florida, we get hurricanes that come here all the time. Well, not all the time. This year, in fact, we didn't have anything really that touched the state that I'm aware of. And we're used to having downed trees during storms like that. In fact, I was cutting down a tree not too long ago that just simply fell down in my yard. But the cool thing is, when we have these big storms, you've got power companies from all over the country that are coming to help out. You've got folks that, are in the business of the tree cutting business that are coming down. And so I am sure that it's nice to be able to help repay, for all that kindness. So I'm sure that Florida Power and Light, Progress Energy, all of the companies here from Florida, from the south, are on their way up there to help you folks out to dig out. You get still snow on the ground up there, I believe, although I heard it's going to be in the 50s, so it's going to start warming up and turn that stuff into some nice slushy mud, if you will. And I heard there was even talk about canceling Halloween up in that area, which, makes a lot of sense. If there's down power lines, it's a very unsafe area. So if you are catching this because you happen to have power or you're catching us on your radio, the archive show, thanks so much. And all you folks listening out in the West Coast in Spokane, thank you as well. And, what's so important is just simply to make sure that no matter what's going on in life, folks, is that you've got positive expectancy. Now, positive expectancy, it's a state of mind. It's an absolute state of mind, and it's so important to be able to, in a heartbeat, you've got always two ways to be able to look at things. And when you're a trader, when you're an investor, whatever financial decision it is that you're making, there's always two sides to every story. If you're buying, somebody's selling. So no matter what, when you've done your homework, what you want to make sure is that you realize that there's always two sides to every story. And quite frankly, when you're dealing with a conflict, whatever that might be, realize that there's two sides to every story. And, don't assume that your side is the right one, because it's all about visualization. And if you're looking at a chart, it's about visualization. And you want to take a look at, once you've made your decision, if you will, once you've come up with all of your conclusions and your reasons why you should be right about what you've done, just step back for a second and say, well, what if the exact opposite was true? Because if you're selling, somebody's buying, right? So the exact opposite is true for that firm, for that individual with regard to their trade. And it's always good to do that in life. Had some really great emails and conversations with clients and even folks that aren't clients that just simply have sent me emails, folks that are sending me emails asking for a copy of the money tree, and because money does grow on trees, folks. And if you haven't gotten your copy of it, just send me an email, steve@tfnn.com. I'm happy to send that out to you. But had some really great conversations with some listeners, with some clients. And, what's really interesting is that all of us have what we call these anchors in life. Some of us know what the anchors are, because in my case here, what I try to do is help you to visualize positive anchors in your life. For most folks, it's a boat anchor. A boat anchor meaning that's going to, drag you down and hold you and keep your boat in position, if you will, yourself in position. And that is not how you grow. And you want to make sure that whatever the anchors are that you've got in your life, that it's really positive anchors. When you go back and you've got to draw on something, whether it's a black cloud that's over you think is over you, or that the universe is taking advantage of you, or life has kind of knocked you down but you're trying to get back up. Well, all you've really got to do is pull that other anchor, that boat anchor up, right? Pull that boat anchor up and create some positive expectancy anchors. You've all got them. They're all, no matter how bad life could possibly be for you, if you go back and you replay some of your greatest moments, some of the moments that you are most grateful for, and you create those as your new anchors, if you will, folks, you'll set sail on a boat that will take you to wherever it is that you want to go in life. Because, your past doesn't have to equal your future. In fact, your past shouldn't equal your future, unless you really want it to. Unless you're just simply living in such a state of positiveness, then that's a wonderful thing. Then you do want to carry that forward. But positive expectancy, folks, that's where it's a mindset. And the greatest folks on this planet, the greatest folks who've achieved the most, who are the happiest folks, they've got a positive expectancy. When it comes to the money game, there's really just 5 core questions that you've got to ask yourself. In fact, folks, you should be watching us on TigerTV. I know I didn't mention that already. You can go to the homepage of TFN.com. You'll see TigerTV. You'll be able to see this show live because, everything is visual. Most people will learn visually. You're able to take a look at my screens, whatever it is that I throw up on my screen. Oftentimes I start my day off with my favorite place on the planet. That's what's over my right shoulder right now. It's my favorite spot in Hawaii. But there's really just simply 5 core questions that you have to ask yourself before you decide that you're going to go ahead and play the money game. Those questions, folks, is what you've got to always understand in life. Doesn't matter whether it's a money game or any other game in life that you're playing. You always want to understand what your potential is. And the money game, you want to decide what your potential is so that you can decide to play the game. So whatever it is in life, whether it's the money game that you're playing or some other game in life, understand what the potential is of what it is that you're doing. Number 2, folks, you've got to understand what action is it that you've got to take in order to accomplish what you want, in order to play the money game. And number 3, folks, you've got to understand what results can you expect if you play the money game. If you're going to play the money game, you can expect you're going to have results that are both wins and losses, because playing the money game is nothing more than a distribution of wins and losses. You can't expect that when you play the money game that on your next trade you're going to win. But what you want to do, because you understand that those are the types of results, because you're going to have wins and losses, is you've got to understand what belief system is it that you've got to show up with in order to successfully play that game, folks. And then you've got to understand what's the best way for you to do it. Well, when you're talking about understanding a distribution of wins and losses, it's always about understanding how do you minimize your risk and how do you maximize your gains. You've heard that before. Well, that's why I created that power of 1, that power of 1%. The power of 1 is really you. The power of 1% is how you go ahead and you manage your money. And folks, understanding that you're going to have a series of distributions of wins and losses doesn't mean that you look at something over a period of 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 4 weeks. You got to look at it over a longer period of time. And as long as the system that you're trading has a positive expectancy, then when you get tied down to when you have some losses, because you're going to have several wins in a row and you're going to have several losses in a row. That's just simply part of the money game, but it should not stop you from playing. In fact, each time you see a trade set up that's a pattern that you trade that you know has got a positive expectancy, the patterns that we trade around here, we trade off of swing points, and we take a look at volume, and I'm going to teach you how to do that. We take a look at Gartley and butterfly patterns, and I can teach you how to do that. And you want to understand, what I've got up on my screen right now, you've got to understand that if you were to risk 1% on every trade, and risking 1% doesn't mean that's what you have invested. It just simply means that is what is your total capital that you're going to risk. If you have $100,000, your risk would be $1,000 on each trade. And then what we use around here, folks, is we use stops on all of our trades. When you use a stop and you've only risked 1% of your capital, then you're going to determine what your position size is. If you haven't been to the position sizing webinar, we put that on everybody's homepage, if you will. And all of our customers, all of our clients have a homepage. If you're not one of our clients, there's no cost to become a member. We want you to become a member because, folks, part of being able to take your level from where you're at to where you want to go is by being able to change your peer group. You absolutely need to change your peer group. If you're listening in here, you absolutely should be a member. So if you're not, just go to the homepage of TFNN, sign up to become a member, and automatically, after you've opted back in on the email, on your page, you'll see position size webinar. You'll see a button. It's a 1 hour. It's maybe 50 minutes, actually. And you will want to do this because you'll better understand this power of one. You'll understand risk reward. Please do that. Even if you're not in the money game, do it for somebody else. Do it for your children because this is how you attain financial freedom. And I want you to absolutely be able to do that, folks. And, you know, what I want you to do is I want you to make sure that what you do, folks, is you implement 3 beliefs for lasting success. Those 3 beliefs, folks, no matter what it is, whether it's a money game or anything else you're playing, is you've got to decide that this must change now. If you're looking to get from A to B, if you're looking to get from 0 to 60, if you're looking to get from $10,000 to $100,000, you've got to decide that this must change now. And, folks, not only must it change now, but you must change it now, and that you can change it now. And I'm here to tell you, you absolutely can. Most times, we are just simply way too hard on ourselves. I mean, way too hard on ourselves. And you don't need to be that. Most people that are closer to you see more inside what you are than what you are. And I got that kind of flavor from some of the emails and correspondence that I got over this weekend. I could tell that people were being a little bit too hard on themselves. But what was so great, what was the common thread there, was that they really were starting to move from where they were. They were starting to bust out of their shell. They were starting to have a belief system of positive expectancy. And that's what it's all about, folks. So we get back, we'll go take a look at currencies. We'll go to Mark in New Hampshire, take a look at TZA, 877-927-6648. Happy Monday morning to you, folks. Thanks for being here. We'll be back in just a few minutes.
X-Story Gold Mines, an NYSE Amex-listed company trading under the symbol XG, is slated to be the newest gold-silver producer in Argentina. X-Story is forecast to produce more than $250 million in bullion annually, beginning in 2013, at a cash cost of less than $200 for each ounce of gold produced. That forecast will make X-Story one of the highest margin operators in South America and a sector leader in the mining industry. X-Story has $50 million in its treasury, having spent over $60 million to date on drilling and engineering. The ultimate size of its Argentina discovery could be determined by year-end, as results from the 6 drills operating at the site are fully assessed. To find out more about X-Story Gold Mines and their exciting growth potential, click on their banner on the front page of TFNN.com or check them out on the NYSE Amex under the symbol XG.
TFNN is proud to bring you the cutting edge of newsletters. Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks. Ken is a top-down investor who lets price and volume in the major stock indices tell him when to be in the market and when to be out. By using his unique blend of fundamental and technical analysis, Ken will protect your hard-earned capital while realizing breakout gains. Go to TFNN.com today. Click Investments Newsletters and get Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks free for 2 weeks.
Looking for some extra cash to help pay off some of your bills? Let Tiger Metal Exchange convert your unwanted jewelry to cash. We pay out 80% of the market price for gold. Our payouts are the highest in the industry, more than double our largest competitors. And we've created the safest, easiest, and most straightforward process for converting your jewelry to cash. Log on to TigerMetalExchange.com and get your free scale, your free eye loop, and get the cash you deserve now. We provide a free online calculator that converts your jewelry to cash at up-to-the-minute spot prices. We insure your items for up to $75,000 per shipment free of charge. We videotape the entire valuation process so that you can view it online. You can call us toll-free at 866-618-8888 or log on to TigerMetalExchange.com. Let Tiger Metal Exchange put more cash in your pocket without ever leaving the comfort of your home. Join the list of thousands of satisfied customers and go to TigerMetalExchange.com. It's the only click you need to make. Are you looking for a precision edge in the market? Something that can stack the odds in your favor? Then look into Larry Pesavento's new trading newsletter, Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind. In each weekly issue, Larry explains what's going to happen in the markets based on the pattern he sees developing and gives you actionable trade ideas based on those patterns. Plus, you'll get his detailed analysis on a variety of markets and sectors, including stocks, treasury bonds, the gold market, oil, the dollar, the forex market, and more. And you'll get the Technical Corner segment, which is a short but powerful weekly training session on trading. You'll get access to all the patterns Larry is seeing in the markets, plus the Astro Harmonics and powerful Bradley stock market model that Larry utilizes for less than $5 a day. An extremely potent combination that will give you just the edge you've been looking for. Try Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind absolutely free for 2 weeks. Go to tfnn.com and click on the free trial link at the top of the page. That's an $85 value, yours free when you register right now. Get Larry's Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind and get the edge you've been looking for.
Here's what people are saying about Tiger TV.
Let's go to John in Tampa. Hey, John, what's going on?
Hi, Tom. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. You having a good day out there?
A wonderful day. I love your Tiger TV. I watch it every day. I'm like a kid in a candy store.
Oh, man, I appreciate you out there watching it. How long have you been watching the Tiger TV?
I'm watching almost a month now, and it's wonderful.
It's pretty cool, isn't it?
Oh, yes, it's cool. You see the charts and everything. Thanks so much for the hard work.
Tiger TV, a great news service from TFNN.com. This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Don't forget, you can test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. 877-927-6648. Give me a call if you want me to take a look at a chart. Would absolutely love to hear from you. And let's go to, let's take a look at the yen here. That's why I'm wearing my Halloween outfit, if you will. Got my Japanese yen shirt on. And what I've got up on my screen, so make sure you're tuned into Tiger TV. Now, I've got a long-term chart up here. I've got a monthly yen chart up here. And I'm drawing an ABC pattern. Now, the A point on the yen, let me get my cursor over here, is right over here, the month of, let's take a look at this, month of September 1998. And the high on the yen there was 139.9. Now, that's our A point. Our B point on the yen came all the way down on the monthly chart to the November 30th, 1999 time frame. The low there was 101.25. Worked all the way up, retraced back all the way up to February of 2002. Now, I'm just going to, for the heck of it, let's just go take a look and see what that retracement is. It is most likely, let me just move a couple things over here on my screen. So if we take a look at our retracement tool, going from that A to that B point, that low, and what you can see is the yen retraced up somewhere between almost to the 0.786, which is not uncommon. You're dealing with three retracement areas, 382, 618, and 786, and it's really right in between those two areas. Then the 1-to-1 A to B equals C to D completion would have taken the yen down to $88. Now, I've got, if you take a look at my cursor or the crosshair on that, you know, what you can see is that the yen actually got down in that area on January of 2009 and February of 2009, and then it retraced back up and it continued its move down. Now, it's made a 1 to 1.272 A to B equals C to D, but it took a long time to do that. And it's really important to take a look at those angles. When you take a look at A, B, C, D patterns, you want to take a look at his price along the line of the A to B pattern. If you take a look at my screen, the angle of A to B is matching what's on C to D. And if the price is starting to wane, if you will, over to the right side of that angle, it's just simply telling you that it's not as powerful of a move, if you will. In this case here, doesn't mean that I can't go there, but it's just helping you to understand the real energy between any punch. And when you're taking a look at ABCs, you know, you want to be able to take a look at that. Now, a 1 to 1.272 ABC takes you down to 76.27. Well, the yen actually traded below that. Now, so that's on a monthly chart, and monthly charts are going to have more meaning than a weekly chart, going to have more meaning than a daily chart. It's going to give you a longer-term trend. So whenever you're taking a look at a chart on something that you want to trade, you want to understand what's the longer-term trend that you're looking at, what's the weekly, what's the daily, you know, as you dig down into it. In this case here, we know that we completed a 1 to 1.272, A to B equals C to D. We're not looking for perfection here. We're looking to be in a range. It's all you need to be in is a range. We don't try to buy the bottom tick or sell the top tick. We just simply want to be within inside a range, because that's an expectation that's not a positive expectation. You might think perfection is a positive expectation, but it's the lowest expectations, the lowest standard that you could live with. We use these numbers here as our guideline as to when to go ahead and enter the trade. And then we take a look at what else is going on. What other patterns might be out there? Well, there's Japanese candlesticks. That's what it is that I'm looking at on my screen. And one of those candlesticks that has a lot of relevance that I love to trade is called the hammer candle. And if you take a look on the monthly chart, what you'll see is on March of 2011, what the yen did. This is the U.S. dollar yen currency pair. And what you'll see is that you've got this hammer candle. Now, a hammer candle is where, in the month of this case here, traded all the way down to the low. Let's take a look at that price. The low is 76.34. And then what it does is the bulls come in, if you will, and they push that price up. In this case here, you can see you've got a green body at the top. Your wick, that's what we call it. That's that line, that's holding up that candle, if you will. That area there is the low that it traded to. And what you like to do is you like to enter a trade on a hammer somewhere around 50% of that wick to the actual bottom of that wick. And oftentimes you'll see a hammer. You've got to be patient. This is like fishing, if you will. And if you miss a trade, it's just like you were sitting out there fishing and you just missed a fish. There's going to be another one that's going to come by. In this case, but you want to make sure you're taking a look at the reward to risk ratio, and you want to look at it when it gets down to that 50% level. My subscribers and I, we are long the yen trade, if you will. In this case here, it means we're really short the yen, but in taking a look at this currency pair, so we're short the yen. That means that we expect that the yen to weaken. That's really what this chart is showing us. This is showing us a long-term monthly chart. Now, we don't know if the trade is going to be right, but what we did want to see, today being October 31st, we did want to see a close above that low of that 76.34. You can see it's been tested. This will be the third month in a row. Is 3 times the charm? Well, if we go take a look at what's going on in the currency market, I'm going to go ahead and take a look at some shorter-term charts here. When we get back, we'll go take a look at the currency market. We'll see the euro traded lower last night. You'll see the yen traded lower. You'll see King Dollar reared its head last evening. 877-927-6648. You get the Dow futures off 125, NASDAQ off about 21, and we'll be right back.
Hi, folks. This is Tom O'Brien. If you want to get great trade setups in equity as well as the option market, come over to TFNN.com and test drive my daily newsletter, Market Insights, for 2 weeks absolutely free. Each trade setup comes with a profit projection as well as stop placement. Included in Market Insights is a Twitter alert service. This allows you to take advantage of intraday setups. Volatility is back in the markets. What does that mean to you? To me, it spells short-term opportunity each and every day. The days of trending up on lighter volume are gone. We have come off the highs with volume across the globe. Don't get caught in a complacency trap. Many of the indices have given back 2 months of trading in 1 week. We have a trader's market. You can take advantage of this trader's market by test driving my daily newsletter, Market Insights, free for 2 weeks. Market Insights will give you the edge you're looking for in the markets. Go to TFNN.com, under newsletter, hit the Market Insight tab for your 2-week free test drive right here, right now.
Homeowners, did you know a burglar could break into your home and get away in just 5 minutes? A locked door may not be enough to keep a thief out of your home. Think about what you can lose, and then think about this. Now you can get a free security system monitored by ADT, the leader in home security. Pick up your phone now and get free hardware, free medical and fire alert, and free activation. It's an $850 value. Just call Protect Your Home, your authorized ADT dealer, at 1-800-949-8207. You'll get 24-hour protection, and there's no cost for parts or activation. So call now about a free security system monitored by ADT. Call 1-800-949-8207. $99 installation charge. 36-month monitoring agreement at $35.99 a month. Call for terms and conditions to this offer and protect your home license numbers. Call now. 1-800-949-8207. That's 1-800-949-8207.
Tom O'Brien's weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, gives traders, investors, and money managers a thorough strategy for trading the gold market. If you're an investor in gold or any of the gold mining equities, this newsletter is an essential tool that can help you become a better trader in the gold market. The Gold Report comes out every Monday with complete coverage of the entire gold market, including the XAU, HUI, the dollar, the bond, the rand, more than 40 different mining equities, as well as some of the most popular precious metal ETFs, including the GDX and the SLV. For as low as $75 per month, you can gain access to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report that will help you take advantage of investment opportunities at the current historic gold price levels. To order your Gold Report today with a free 30-day trial subscription, log on to tfnn.com or call our office directly at 877-518-9190.
What type of investor are you? Conservative, moderate, or aggressive? No matter your investor personality, your overall portfolio should reflect your financial goals, time horizon, and your risk tolerance. Help ensure your portfolio is appropriately invested with an asset allocation plan from Morgan Stanley Smith Barney. Simply picking the right stocks is not enough. Research has shown that choosing the right proportion of stocks, bonds, and cash is essential to the success of your long-term investments. Morgan Stanley Smith Barney believes a carefully selected portfolio can lower your volatility and increase investment return potential. Find out about what asset allocation and a Morgan Stanley Smith Barney financial advisor can do for you. Call Angelo O'Brien, financial advisor and certified financial planner of the Clearwater, Florida branch at 727-441-6108 today to discuss your personal financial needs. Asset allocation does not assure a profit or protect against loss in declining financial markets. Investments and services are offered through Morgan Stanley Smith Barney, LLC. Member SIPC.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. 877-927-6648. That's our call-in number. And in a minute, we're going to go to Mark from New Hampshire. But we are absolutely off to the races. You've got the Dow down 127 right now. You've got the composite off 35, small caps off 12, and the S&P's 15. And Mark, thanks so much for calling in and holding. And so how are things up there?
Well, we don't have power, but, you know, we have generators, so everything works out.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. But you have a generator, but not everybody's got a generator up there.
No, you know, I'm like an old Boy Scout, pre-prepared.
Yeah. So how bad, how bad is it, in your neighborhood or where you're traveling to is,
well, it's like I got 15 inches of snow. I'm like up on top of a mountain. But
oh, man.
If you drive down a mile away from me, Chris Carpenter lives, so it's a pretty cool spot, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did he pitch a seventh game for the Cardinals?
Yes, I think so. Yep, absolutely. I think so.
He's a townie. Like me.
That's cool. Yeah, the first couple of innings he struggled, but man, he had some good stuff after that. And
he's a good kid.
Yeah.
I graduated from the same high school as him.
Oh, so. Cool. Yeah, it was. It was a game. It was a series with obviously lots of stories. It was a really good series, I thought. And, I love anything that's going to go to Game 7. And it wasn't...
I like Texas, honestly, because I'm a big Texas kind of guy.
Yeah. Great team, and you talk about...
I want to see them win one,
Yeah, you talk about, in Game 6, there's so many opportunities that they had to actually put it away. And but that's sports. That's that power of focus and energy. And now, have they actually canceled Halloween, if you will, trick or treating for the kids up there? Is that the?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, just too dangerous.
We kind of like it.
Well, thanks for calling in. Now, you wanted to look at TZA. Are you?
Yeah. Listen, I bought some positions. I was down at Foxwoods, and my heart said at 3:30 I was listening. And I said, this storm is going to wreak havoc. Who knows what's going to happen?
Okay.
So I'm trying to figure out what to do. So I said, what?
That's funny.
Why not?
That's funny.
So I went short a bunch of stuff, and I'm trying to figure out if I should close my positions this morning.
Well, I think that so much of what's going on, so much of the buzz that we saw last week was, well, first you've made money this morning, so you've got to be able to make that call, as far as why you went into the trade. But if you first take a look at, what's going on currency-wise, and I'll do that, in another segment or what have you. But if you take a look at the IWM, folks, what the IWM has done is if you go back to the highs that it made on May 2nd, and the high there on the IWM was 86.81. What it's done is it's retraced back to that 0.618 area, which was 76.60. And in the case here of, I don't know what's going on with my computer. I've had some problems here.
Yeah. I know that situation.
Oh my God! Last night, there must be a virus or something on this thing, and so when I'm taking a look at the IWM, it retraced right back to that area, that 75.60. So if you're looking at this and you've got volume at the lows on the IWM, so that's good for your TZA trade, and and the question is really, what are your thoughts with regard to what really moved the markets? Was it earnings that moved the market? Was it this? European Financial Stability Facility is what they're calling it. Is that what really moved the markets? Because the currency markets last night were telling us that they didn't buy into it at all. We had huge moves. We had, obviously, now you had the move in the yen where, the Japanese finance minister came in and said, we're going to support, we're going to weaken the yen. We're absolutely going to weaken the yen. But what you had was the yen weakening, you had the euro weakening, you had the pound weakening, and that's some pretty big signal with regard to what's going on currency-wise. Mark, if you don't mind holding, we'll come back to TZA, IWM, and Mark in New Hampshire. We'll be back in just a minute, folks.
TFNN is proud to bring you the cutting edge of newsletters. Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks. Ken is a top-down investor who lets price and volume in the major stock indices tell him when to be in the market and when to be out. By using his unique blend of fundamental and technical analysis, Ken will protect your hard-earned capital while realizing breakout gains. Go to TFNN.com today. Click Investments Newsletters and get Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks free for 2 weeks.
Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, co-host of The Money Masters with Tom O'Brien, seen daily at TFNN.com, author of Mastering Probabilities, a daily investment and trading newsletter, and teacher of the money game. Studies show that 3 out of 5 people are afraid for their life in trading these markets, and the number one reason given is fear of loss. Look, fear stands for false evidence appearing real, and the money game proves it. Lesson number 1, don't risk more than 1% of your trading capital on any trade. Why, you ask? Because 35 trades in a row where you risk 50 cents and make $1 are all you need to double your trading capital, versus the 230 losing trades in a row you would need to bring your balance to $100. Let me teach you more about the money game risk-free for 30 days. Go to the homepage of TFNN.com and click on my name, Steve Rhodes, for your 30-day risk-free trial. You were born to be a money master, and I'll teach you how. At Tiger Metal Exchange, we pay you more for converting your jewelry to cash.
Let's go to Brian in New Jersey. Hey, Brian, what's going on?
Hey, Tom, just want to let you know I did give you some jewelry. My jeweler offered me about $650, but you get a check in the mail tomorrow for about $1,200.
At Tiger Metal Exchange, it's all about honesty when converting your jewelry to cash.
Okay, let's go to Paul in Florida first. Hey, Paul, what's going on?
I want to commend you on the Tiger Metal Exchange. I just did a deal with you guys the other day.
Oh, good.
I'm very happy.
Well, I appreciate it. Now, Did you sell us jewelry, or did you buy coins off us?
Yeah, I sold you jewelry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
What we weighted at was less than you guys said, so, you're totally honest.
At Tiger Metal Exchange, we give you the tools to value your gold, and it's absolutely free. Call 866-618-8888 or log on to TigerMetalExchange.com. We've created the easiest, safest, and most honest cash for gold process. Tiger Metal Exchange. It's the only call you need to make.
Here's what people are saying about Tiger TV.
Let's go to John in Tampa. Hey, John, what's going on?
Hi, Tom. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. You having a good day out there?
A wonderful day. I love your Tiger TV. I watch it every day. I'm like a kid in a candy store.
Oh, man, I appreciate you out there watching it. How long have you been watching the Tiger TV?
I'm watching almost a month now, and it's wonderful.
It's pretty cool, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, it's cool. You see the charts and everything. Thanks so much for the hard work.
Tiger TV, a great news service from TFNN.com. TigerTV.com. This segment is brought to you by South American Silver Corporation. For more information, just click the South American Silver Corporation banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. You got the Dow down 145, S&P's down 17, and we're on our line with Mark in New Hampshire. And Mark is trading the TZA. So, Mark, one way to take a look at this trade, because I know you just like to simply get in there, make your money, and go have some fun, is on the TZA, you've got this little gap that's open from 3 trading sessions ago. The low on that gap is 32.51, and the volume that you had on that bar was 39 million shares. Maybe what you want to do is, it looks to me like it wants to at least go up there and fill that gap. And in the IWM, you've gapped down really pretty much on all the ETFs. When I take a look at the dollar index, what's going on with the euro and the yen and the pound right now, there's going to be some pressure on the markets. Absolutely going to be some pressure on the markets. And just a normal pullback in the small caps and the IWM should take it down to that 70.52 area. So, it might be one way for you to go ahead and play that. And or just also just put a trailing stop in there, and if for some reason the market turns around, let it take you out of the trade. But I think the reality is you can see the IWM even move up to that $40 area.
Yeah, let me just say this: fundamentally, this storm that hit us on the East Coast is going to destroy profits for most small businesses. Wow, that's... So you figure it out. I mean, this is a real loser.
Yeah.
For some people.
Yeah, that's sad. That's sad to hear. That's sad to hear.
I snowplow. We have a operation up here. We made money.
Yes.
All weekend long, and it's just we take care of our neighbors. And the bottom line is, it always works out good.
Yeah. Well, the big thing is getting the power on back up there. So I know there's
no power. So
yeah. So I know there's probably you've got. I'm sure there's all kinds of trucks from Florida on their way up there, from the Carolinas, from Georgia. One of the things what is really cool is that when you have disasters like this, situations like this, is people are willing to pitch in and help out and get up there, and and that's really cool. And it is all about safety. So sad to say that kids aren't going to dress up in their favorite Halloween costume and head out tonight, but they'll come up with some way to celebrate it, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's going to be 25 degrees.
Oh, man. Come on down here. But anyways, that's my thought on TZA. So, Mark.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you, Steve. You make me a lot of money.
Yeah, I love it. Thanks for the call. I really do. Thanks for calling. Have a great day. Now, folks, let's go take a look at the currency. So let's take a look at what it is that I'm really looking out there. Now, last night, and I'm going to pull up the Japanese yen chart here in just a minute, and we're going to take a look at this on I'm just going to put this on a 5-minute chart. And what you're going to see is when the Japanese, take a look at this candle here. And this started at the at 21:30, so what's that making? About 9:30 last night. I was sitting there texting Tom. Now, we're in this trade. My subscribers and I were in this trade. And, I'm sitting here texting Tom last night saying, are you watching the screen like I am? And when I was taking a look at the currency, because what I had up on my screen was not just the yen chart, but I was working on my newsletter. I had the yen chart, the pound chart, the euro chart, and King dollar. And, and as soon as I saw this move, I knew a move like this, that there was likely, intervention. Now, the key here, over the weekend, I was taking a look and trying to read as much as I could about the EFSF, the European Financial Stability Facility, just trying to get underneath the covers to understand what in the heck is it that was really pushed out there last week on Thursday, and what was really behind that. And what I found, in fact, if somebody else has done any research on there and they can help me understand better than what it is I understand, just please give me a call, 877-927-6648. But what I found is there wasn't a whole lot underneath the covers. That what was pushed out there was really nothing more than a marketing campaign, if you will, a potential commitment to what it is that they're going to do. Yes, they went ahead and they got the private owners of the bonds, of the Greek bonds, to go ahead and take a 50% haircut. So, yes, that absolutely was done. People took their losses. But at the same time, they created this, here's we're going to fund this thing with 1.7 trillion or whatever the actual number ends up being, but they don't have anything funded. So I know, and quite frankly for us, that with the Japanese yen continuing to get stronger, that's really not good for you. That's not good for us because so many, Japan is the, believe it's the largest importer for us, or the third largest importer of all of the electronics that are going into all the gadgets, that we're using here. And so Japan is really important, whether it's our cars, whether it's our gadgets, technology, and this is really all about technology. You take a look at what it is that we're delivering today to you through TigerTV, the things that you've got in your home, your cars, listening to us on the phones. It's all about technology. Well, we can't afford for the yen to continue to get stronger because it's just simply, you've got Nintendo over there that I don't think has lost money as a company for a full fiscal year, in 30 years. And I believe that this year they're going to actually have a loss over there. It's not a good situation. And so now so one way of how Japan weakens their currency and then helps out Europe, if you will, is that they start printing more money, they weaken their currency, and they do that by buying these bonds, if you will, and that would be one way to facilitate it. Well, if that were going to happen, I was taking a look at the yen weakening and the euro strengthening, and if the euro was going to strengthen because it's such a big weighting of the dollar index, that meant that our dollar index, our U.S. dollar index, was going to continue moving lower. What I was trying to build here was what's going on in Europe, what's going on currency-wise, because currency is, makes our markets that we trade here, our equity markets, just so small compared to what goes on from a currency standpoint. I mean, there's, $4 trillion a day or something going on in the currency markets and the U.S. markets here that we trade, not anywhere close to that. And so trying to put together, let's say, the bullish case, because last week we had this new moon perigee combination along with, we also had this 17 planetary aspects. And what I know is long-term that the results of what we saw last week are going to be very significant, either a significant high or a significant low. And when I talked about wanting to understand both sides of the trade, trying to build the bullish case in our market, if you will, what's that bullish case look like? Well, last night when we took a look at the currencies out there, we had the Japan yen weaken, we had the euro weaken, we had the pound weaken, and the U.S. dollar absolutely just took off. Right now you've got the euro trading below 140. It's down at 139. If I pop that up on the screen here and we just take a look at that 5-minute chart as well, you can see how this thing fell off the cliff, and that's going to put a ton of pressure on the markets that we trade right now today. We'll see what kind of volume it is we've got coming off of the highs that we've made out here. 877-927-6648. We'll be back in just a few minutes.
As Tom says, go long America. Now you can join TFNN and Barnes & Noble to keep money in your community. Purchase Tom's best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, before October 31st from your local Barnes & Noble store. And you will be given access to not just one, but 2 exceptional archived courses. Tiger Scaling, The Tiger Butterfly, and Gartley. The Art of Timing the Trade is more than just a book. It's an educational journey that will help you understand the Wall Street greed cycle and learn how to recognize profit from genuine price moves. So, for the cost of just under $30, you will receive in excess of $300 in trading education from Tom O'Brien, TFNN, and Barnes & Noble. And you will be helping to support an important local business, your local bookstore. If you do not have a Barnes & Noble in your community, then go to your local bookstore. We'll be sure to work with them to keep your purchase local. So let's support our local businesses, keep money in your community, and get a great education. But be sure to act now, because you only have until October 31st to take advantage of this opportunity. Go to the front page of TFNN.com for details.
Would you like to discover the next great tech stock? David White, TFNN's technology guru, has just launched his new newsletter, The Technology Insider. In his newsletter, David will be looking for those shining stars that may turn into the next Apple, Microsoft, or Cisco. David combines his technology background as a software programmer with his market skills as a successful professional trader to give you this unique newsletter. We're on the verge of the next great tech run. With the Technology Insider, you'll be in front of the run-up and not lagging behind. David is developing a long-term investment portfolio. Therefore, we're only offering the Technology Insider as an annual subscription with a remarkable price of only $395. That's right, for a little over $1 a day, you'll receive the fundamental technology wisdom and technical trading skills of the Technology Insider David White. What are you waiting for? Go to the front of TFNN.com, click on the link on the front page, sign up for your 2-week free trial, and become a Technology Insider today.
Put the power of the Chapman Wave methodology to work for you. No matter what market you trade, what time frame you trade in, or your trading style, the Opening Call, Basil Chapman's daily market newsletter, is bursting with the information and trades you need to become a more successful trader.
I've been using Basil Chapman's Chapman Wave methodology for several years now. His Chapman Wave can be used for any time period for not only equities, but futures, currencies, commodities. I've been also a subscriber of his Opening Call, which I find an invaluable tool to help me analyze the potential of the market each day. He gives you opportunities to go short and long. It includes recommendations on stocks. I strongly recommend people using the Chapman Wave, and I very, very strongly support the use of his Opening Call.
To find out more about Basil Chapman and his Chapman Wave methodology, and to get your 2-week free trial of the Opening Call, a $64 value, visit TFNN.com today.
Great Basin Gold is a mining company engaged in the exploration and development of 2 emerging gold properties in Nevada and South Africa with a total resource base of more than 23 million gold ounces. Great Basin's Burnstone mine in South Africa opened in February of this year with a resource of 20 million gold ounces, becoming the first mine to open in the historic Witwatersrand Rand Basin in the last 30 years. The Burnstone mine is projected to have a 25-year mine life and is fully financed, with production anticipated to be over 250,000 ounces per year at a cash cost of only $450 per ounce. The Hollister mine in Nevada became fully integrated in the 4th quarter of 2010 with annual production estimates of 110,000 ounces of gold per year over the 8-year mine life at a cash cost of only $527 per ounce. Great Basin Gold is cash flow positive and trades on the Toronto and New York stock exchanges under the symbol GBG.
Now is the time for Tiger Dollars. Purchase $250 or more before October 31st and receive a 30% match. Go to the front page of TFNN.com and get your Tiger Dollars today.
Welcome back, folks. 877-927-6648. You got the Dow down 143. You got the composite down 38, 39. Small caps down 15, leading the way down over 2%. And you got the S&P down 1.3%, down 17 points. Now, just to kind of complete the trade here, the trade that, because a lot of my clients don't actually trade the currency pairs, and when you have a trade like this, when we had this, monthly hammer candle that we took a look at on the Japanese yen, when you know that there's just no way that it's good for the world, for their currency to continue to get stronger, we had the forget about that. That's just the fundamental thing, but you just simply took a look at the chart. You knew you were up against that hammer candle. And what I really want to help you understand is when you've got your back up against the wall and you've got a positive expectancy system. See, I trade those hammer candles. I trade the Gartleys and butterflies, and what I know is I don't need to get all of my trades right. In fact, I'm not going to get all of my trades right. No one is. You're not going to. That's why you want to understand that power of 1 or 1%, because when you have a positive expectancy system, that truly on paper works, folks, you know you're going to have a series of losing trades. I had a series of losing trades in the month of October, but it was all contained within inside that 1%. It was all from a distribution probability standpoint. It all made sense. When you take a look at the larger expectancy table, what it is you can expect out of your trading system, and if you don't know what that is, you should know what that is. And I can teach you how to do that. I talk about that in the free webcast that I did, but you've got to be a member of TFNN, so go check that out. And if you already are a member, go spend the 50 minutes and listen to that webcast. Now, the trade we got into because of this was an ETF. YCS is a trade. Now, we got into that on Friday, and we got in right around right at the open, which was 39.81. That's also where it closed. Right now, that's trading at 42.12. That's up 6%, folks. That's up 6% in 1 day. And, I think this is going to go higher. But the reward to risk is not in it now. you know, if you're not in this trade, don't go take this trade. Instead, what you want to do is you'd rather sign up for example, go test out my newsletter for 30 days or test it out for longer than that, folks. It's a great investment in yourself. You'll see a system that produces a positive expectancy. Are there going to be losing trades? Absolutely. But what you're going to risk is 1% or less than 1% of your trading capital. And when you can do that, you can place your trade. You can sleep easy at night, you know, and we're going to go ahead. We're going to place our trades when our back is up against the wall. We're going to understand what the true range is on a trade, because we know that we're not worried about entering at the exact bottom tick. You just don't need to do that. And I want to be able to help you relieve your mind of that. Want to be able to show you a great way to trade, and that was on this YCS trade, and there's more like that out there. Now I'm fishing for more trades. You know, we're going to take a look at these markets and see where things trade down to. But the currency markets right now are screaming that they just don't believe what came out of Europe last week. There's too many things that right now have to go right in Europe. They've got to convince China to buy the bonds. They've got to convince somebody to buy the bonds. But right now, what's happening is you've got this little perfect storm. You talk about a storm up in the East Coast this weekend. Well, you've got this storm here in the currency market that is brewing, and that storm being that you've got the Japanese yen weakening, you've got the Canadian dollar weakening, you've got the euro weakening, you've got the pound weakening. You want to talk about, you know, where was Elvis? Apparently Elvis was on the beaches of Italy or somewhere, you know, Elvis, you know, our King Dollar, if you will, relaxing, you know, for the weekend, because the king knew that he was going to come back, and the king has come back in a strong way. What you can take a look at here is at least what you'll see out of this move here is you will at least see a retracement to that 0.382 area. Where would that be on the dollar? You're looking for the dollar to move up to 76.99 at a minimum. You're at 76.14. Folks, stay tuned. You got Tom and myself on the Money Masters, then Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, David White, and Tom O'Brien to take us home. Thanks so much for joining me. Absolutely love being here with you. And I'll see you again in about 8 minutes. Stay tuned, folks.